Hey YouTube. Um, Not all bugs 3 are created equal. Well, I don't know if I'm not saying it's no good. They're just different. I don't know if you know, but bugs 3 has two different sets of ESCs. They have this one, if you can see that. Camera's on my head. Where this little black thingy right here is off to the side, that would be the older ESCs. Then they have a newer ESC where this little black thingy is a bigger square and it's more in the middle. That I already knew. What I didn't know was the controllers are different. If you saw the video, you know I thought this was a defective quad, but it looks like it's not. It's 715 outdoors. Look at my messed up curtains. It's 7:15 outdoors. It's about to get dark. I don't feel like putting the lights on this Bugs 3, but I am going to take it for a quick flight. I just want to show you the controllers are different. When I got to my mom's today, I opened up this. I looked at the ESCs. They're soldered a little bit differently than 3 of the Bugs 3s that I had before. The antenna is intact, everything is intact. And then I noticed the calibration button on the controller that came with this red Bugs is black in color, whereas the calibration button on every Bugs 3 I've had before, quite a few of them, is white. So I read the instructions on the one that came, this red one, and it seems to be verbatim the very same instructions that comes with all the other Bugs 3. This is a calibration button. The only difference is this button is not spring loaded. It goes up for on and down for off, whereas this calibration button is more of a spring loaded type thing, like a trim button. So I don't know what the deal is there, but I put batteries in it and I calibrated it and I turned it on, and lo and behold, that beeping sound is gone away. So I think the problem that I had yesterday was the controller that I use for my Bugs 3 that I've always had is not compatible with the Bugs 3 that comes with a controller that has this black on-off non-spring loaded calibration switch. I don't see anything else different. I haven't peeled back the covers of the ESCs to find out which ones this are, but it is different. I noticed that these ESCs come with a red wire, a black wire, and then a plug. I'm thinking that would be the older and the newer. I hope so, because I ordered some ESCs for Broken Bugs. The ESCs in here doesn't have a plug. It has, oh hell. I'll show you real quick while we're here. It's going to be dark, man, and I'm going to go fly. You can see that. And I do like this, the fact that it's not covered up with this white goop like a white hot glue like the other ESCs are. And I haven't peeled this back, so I haven't looked at them, but I can tell you it has no plug. This ESC has, well, let's say you have a clockwise and a counterclockwise. You have a total of 5 solder points. You have a middle solder point, which is for the positive on both ESCs. And then you have, that would be the red, and then you have the white on the outer and the black on the inner. So you have 5 solder points. Whereas on the other Bugs 3, you would just have 2 solder points. This red wire here, This black wire there would go to some 2 solder points, well 4, because you know each one would have 2. The red wire, the black wire, and then these 2 wires would get plugged in. This ESCs are different. There's no plugs, it's just 5 solder points. The only plugs are for the LEDs, which are here. So it is a little bit different. I just hope I ordered the right parts for my broken bugs, because I'm not really big on repairs, but I looked at it and it did look simple enough. If the parts are right and the board is good, I'm sure I could repair my original Bugs 3 that I broke the arm completely off. Okay, I'm shutting this down. I'm gonna go outside before it gets too dark, and I'm gonna try this out. And hopefully I won't lose my red machine. Oh, and the red bullnose props really looks good on a full red Bugs. I'm not a fan of red, but I'm getting there. Make it great again. Pardon the pun. Bye. Okay, we're gonna try it out. So far so good. It's not giving me that beeping noise. So, if you see that, it's trimmed okay. Bugs 3 so far is working a whole lot better. It's responding. I don't want to get crazy because I'm in front of my house. First flight, Bugs 3. Hey, neighbor. Okay. Okay, Bugs 3. Bugs 3, bullnose props. Bug 3. Okay, this is my impression of Mark with egg on his face. Now, this is a retraction to a comment I made just a few moments ago. How do I say this? This is one of the problems you run into when you have multiple quadcopters of the same make and model number, and you're like me and you assume that they're all the same and the functions are the same and whatever. A few moments ago I told you that I read page 7 of the instruction manual from 2 different Bugs 3, and they were identical, and that this button is the calibration button. Well, traditionally it is the calibration button, but what I didn't know was I was reading 2 separate Bugs 3 instruction manuals, but I wasn't reading the right instruction manual for the particular quad that I was talking about. Since I went out, put my foot in my mouth, but I did have a successful flight. Hopefully that got caught on video. Uneventful flight, but uneventful is okay with me because eventful could usually mean pretty bad, loss or catastrophic. So, okay flight. Anyway, the retraction, God, I'm so long-winded. The retraction of my statement where I said that the trim button number 3 that we notice on page 7, which is normally the calibration button, if you have one of these other Bugs 3, now I don't know if it's just the red, no, I had a red model before, and so it's not just the red model, it's just this particular red model. If you get a Bugs 3 and it has a black button where the normal calibration button would be, the instruction manual does not say it's a calibration button. Instead, it says revised for new functions. So I guess that means, you know, when MjX comes out with some other stuff, I don't know, FPV or whatever bells and whistles they may come out with, this button is revised for some new function. So it's not necessarily a calibration button, but I used it like a calibration button and it did calibrate. So who's to say? But either way, good times, all is well. I don't have to continue this dispute with GearBest, and I'm going to retract that video that I put up and apologize, because You know, I'm not trying to burn them. I'm not trying to get a free quad out of them if, in fact, I got what I paid for. Because that's what we do. We try to get what we pay for. We're not trying to burn anybody. Okay? Peace out.